Major news on the diplomatic front and a huge win for India's foreign policy under Prime Minister Modi's leadership. Canada has just made a powerful statement that could reshape the future of bilateral relations. In a momentous declaration, Canada has reaffirmed that there is only one India, and its position on India's territorial integrity is clear. Now, this is a major shift after a year of strained ties after Trudeau's baseless allegations against India. Canada's Deputy Minister for Foreign Affairs, David Morrison, stated, quote, "Canada's policy is very clear that India's territorial integrity must be respected. There's one India, and that's been made very clear," unquote. Now, this statement marks a crucial turning point in the relationship between India and Canada, especially after a year of heightened tensions. Why? Because it follows the fallout from allegations by Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau that the Indian government was potentially involved in the killing of Hardeep Singh Nijjar, a Canadian citizen but also an extremist and a prominent figure in the anti-India Khalistani separatist movement. But now Canada is sending a signal that it's ready to reset relations with India. Speaking on the Khalistan issue, the Canadian Deputy Minister for Foreign Affairs termed it awful but lawful, adding that there are issues which many of us do not want to see, yet issues are protected under freedom of speech rights. Canadian leader added, quote, "There are advocates for a Khalistani homeland in different countries, including in Canada. Canada and India are partners going back many decades. India is an increasingly significant global player and Canada is taking account of that in its policies," unquote. The relationship between India and Canada took a serious hit last year when Trudeau directly accused India of being involved in the killing of Nijjar. India strongly rejected these allegations, calling them absurd and motivated. Now, the allegations escalated tensions, resulting in the expulsion of diplomats from both the countries. Talks about trade and agreements of cooperation also stalled, and for a while, the diplomatic ties between India and Canada were at an all-time low. So this recent statement from Canada is being seen as an attempt to ease the strain and move towards a more constructive future. While Canada has long been a haven for Khalistani activists, India has repeatedly expressed its concerns about the growing political space for separatist movements within Canada. India took Canada head-on and exposed its appeasement politics. Indian External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar had declared earlier this year, quote, "Canada for some years has been giving space to extremists and terrorists in their policies. I believe this is a weakness in their politics. A lot of problems have happened there because of this. It should not have happened. Separatism, extremism and violence have been given space in Canada's politics. There is no such problem in the US," unquote. So what does this soft tone by Canadian Deputy Foreign Minister mean for India-Canada ties moving forward? Will Canada take steps to curb the influence of Khalistani groups within its borders, or will it continue to give space to extremists and separatists in the name of freedom of speech? Now, mending the India-Canada ties will not be easy. After the murder of Nijjar, Canada's parliament held a moment of silence in honor of the separatist, a move that India strongly criticized. In response, India held its own memorial service in Vancouver for the 329 victims of the 1985 Air India bombing, a tragedy directly linked to Khalistani extremists. The diplomatic fallout was significant. Trade talks were suspended and both countries expelled diplomats. This latest statement from Canada is seen as an effort to heal the wounds and steer the relationship towards a more positive direction. But it's not just the diplomatic ties between India and Canada that are under scrutiny. There is also a growing sense of disillusionment among Indian students in Canada. A viral video surfaced recently showing hundreds of students, many of them from India, lined up outside a Canadian restaurant, hoping to land a job as waiters and service staff. Now, this is not the kind of opportunity many students had in mind when they moved to Canada for better prospects. This video has sparked serious conversation about the reality of studying and working in Canada. In fact, another video showed a Canadian landlord forcefully evicting an Indian tenant. Many users on social media questioned how Indians are being treated in Canada. Slowly but surely, the Canadian dream among Indian diaspora is shattering. Coupled with the diplomatic fallout, the impact could be more severe on Canada rather than on India. With Morrison's statement, Canada has made its position clear on India's territorial integrity, but the real question remains. Can both countries truly move past the recent tensions and rebuild their relationship? Now, while the statement is promising, it's clear that the road ahead is still complicated. What do you believe? Can this acknowledgement on One India by Canada reset ties? And will Trudeau finally crack down on separatist elements hiding in his country? Leave a comment, hit the like button and subscribe to Inconnect News.